Hey y'all, Lauren here from Life in Stitches. How are y'all doing? Today is January 21st of 2017 and I've got a bit to catch you up on. This is going to be my January WIP update. I'm going to share with you guys what I've been working on for the past month along with just I have a little mini haul of things that I've purchased over this past month as well, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. The first thing that I want to mention is obviously the thing that's probably the biggest news in the nation right now. I don't like to really talk about politics very much, but I think just it's kind of the opportune time just because of all the media and everything that's been out there. For those of you who don't live in the US but do kind of follow US history and kind of current events and what's going on here, obviously many of you probably know that we have a new president. Donald Trump was actually inaugurated yesterday. I keep seeing everything over social media, kind of flying back and forth about him. And for those of you who aren't quite familiar with Donald Trump or who he is, I can't imagine anybody that wouldn't be, but he's been very controversial throughout his campaign. He made a lot of very derogatory statements towards different races, ethnicities, religious groups, things like that throughout his campaign. He has no political background. He is a celebrity billionaire who's very well known for I think it's called Trump Organization or things like that. He's kind of a big real estate goon, and he also was the host of a reality TV show called Celebrity Apprentice. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. While many here in the state of Texas are usually a Republican state, a red state, a very conservative state, which would side with Donald Trump. I live in the city of Houston, which swings very liberal. But just in general, just my own personal views and opinions, I wasn't happy with a lot of the things that he said. I'm someone who really wants somebody that kind of steps into office to be a representative of a good person. I want them to be somebody who is somebody that I would want my children to behave like, somebody that would be like a model to our kids. And Donald Trump is just not that for me. So I'm interested to see how these next 4 years go in the U.S. and interested to see kind of what's going to happen and what he's going to do, how he's going to shake things up. There have been a lot of protests and things lately here locally and around the United States in protest of him being inaugurated. But part of me too is like, should have voted. You should have voted if you didn't want him to be our next president. So obviously a large portion of the United States does want him to be president, does think he's going to do great things. We'll see, guys. I don't know. So we'll see. I certainly hope so. I was kind of being raised here in the South. My parents always taught me to be respectful of others, regardless of what my opinions are. So the way that I always have looked at it, whether I have voted for the President of the United States, whether the person that I voted for ended up being President of the United States or not, is that I should show them respect, continue to pray for them throughout their presidency, hoping that they're going to do, great things and hoping that God is guiding them to make the right decisions. So that's kind of how I look at it at this point. So enough about politics. Let's move on to a couple of other more exciting things. Adoption update. No new news since I last talked to you guys. I have been contacted by our caseworker. She has all of our paperwork. She's working on our case right now. There were some FBI background checks that needed to be done by different people that we had designated as our babysitters. There's quite the thorough process to get an adopted child that's basically, shouldn't say owned by the state, but the state is their guardian. There's a lot of paperwork and red tape and things you have to cut through, and we had to designate the babysitter. So anybody who babysits our children during the first 6-month trial of them being in our home, they have to be FBI background checked. So we're getting some of that done with my parents, my brother and sister-in-law, and a really good friend of ours who is actually going to be our nanny until we can get our kids into daycare. So we are just waiting to hear back to that our home study is approved. We need to get that scheduled. That's like a 6-hour psych exam that is supposed to be pretty intense, that will be occurring hopefully sometime in late January, early February is kind of the target date that we're being told. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated as I know more. Let's get on to my WIPs and stitching and kind of what's been going on. It has been an extraordinarily productive month for me in January. I have gotten a lot of stitching done. Not quite the stitching that I wanted to do, if that makes sense, but I have been getting a lot of stitching done. So I'm excited to show you guys some of my progress. So the first piece that I'm going to show you really, and kind of what my focus has been, is to catch up on my SALs. Now that Christmas is over, when Christmas was happening and I was trying to get the Precious Moments done, I got the wreath done, I was doing adoption classes, I was making the little bald eagle ornament for my father-in-law. I wasn't able to really focus on my SALs at all, and I actually had to put that aside. It made me really, really sad. So I really just have been spending my time getting caught up, and that is not my, where did I put it? It's not my SAL. Well, let me show you this one because I know where this one is. Where did I put the other one? Did I put it in here? I did. Okay, here we go. So the first one that I worked on was the Tempting Tangles SAL. I think I was 3 parts behind on all of these. The kind of, I guess, obnoxious part about these SALs is that they actually release a part on the same week. This Tempting Tangles SAL was originally supposed to release once every 3 weeks, which I was really happy with, but a lot of people voted, said they wanted it released every 2 weeks. So both my Tempting Tangles SAL and my beautiful Sea SAL from Ship's Manor release at the same time. I really learned through this process, I do not think that I am going to get involved in very many SALs moving forward. I find that it's very stressful on me. I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I am caught up with the SALs. I don't like feeling behind, because part of the thing is if I feel like I get too far behind, I feel like I'll never finish them. So I'm going to be very thoughtful about which SALs I do moving forward. A lot of people have posted pictures of the Stitchrovia SAL that's currently going on. I love that SAL so much. The one thing too is that I'm trying to stick to a budget this year. I have already used my budget up for the month of January, and because I already have 2 SALs going on, if I add another one, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be stitching on anything else that I want to stitch on other than SALs. So what I have decided is that I'm going to wait until April, I think, to do the Stitchrovia SAL. That will also give me time. One thing I've learned too is that I like seeing what other fabric choices and people have used, and use that as kind of a guide for me to kind of determine what I want to stitch on. So that will give me a little bit of time to think about that SAL and to think about whether or not it's something I really want to do, something I really want to take up my stitchy time, but I love what that SAL stands for. But back to the Tempting Tangles SAL. 3 parts have been released, and whoop, let's see. This is where I'm at now. So I think last time that you saw it, I didn't quite have all the rest of the welcome done, so I have finished that portion, and then I've done, these are 2 sections down here that have like these little flowers and stuff here. This is on 28 count mushroom Lugana. I'm stitching this 2/2, and I am using all DMC threads. These threads are a conversion from to kind of some deeper jewel tone colors from the original colors for the design. Overall, it's an easy stitch. I would say basically at this point I'm not in love with it. I think it looks really nice. It's just not a pattern that I would normally choose. The style, that kind of antique primish type style, is not quite my style. But it does look really nice. I think it will look nice in my house. But the thing I really don't like about this the most is how repetitive it is. This is a mystery SAL, so I do not know what the finalized pattern will look like, and the pieces come out, you know, little chunks at a time, but they're predictable. So like if you see here at the top, the pattern repeats up here at the top. Obviously, as we started stitching welcome, that got to be very repetitive. And then even these flowers down here, there are a little bit of differences between this flower. Let's see if I can show you. There's a little bit of differences between these two flowers and some very minor differences in these two flowers. But it's pretty much the same colors. They pretty much look the same. And I have a feeling that this section is just going to be those flowers repeated. There is one more row that's going to be underneath here that's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but I'm just not like wowed. I'm not surprised. It's not something new that comes up every day. So I don't know. Going back, I probably would not have paid for this SAL. I do not think it was very expensive to do. I already had the threads on hand, and it is a, I guess, like the best way to look at it though is that I sit here and I think about, like, this is my first SAL ever. It's the first SAL I've ever participated in. So it's sentimental to me in that way. I do think it will look really nice when it's finished. I'm just not, there was a lot of other stuff that I think I would have rather stitched on other than that. So those are kind of my feelings about that SAL. This bag. In there. But it does only take me, actually, once the pieces come out, now that I'm caught up, it only takes me about 1 to 2 days to actually finish the parts. So it's not like it takes a ton of time. My next SAL that I'm doing, in this SAL my husband actually loves. He really, really loves the way that it's turning out. This is another one where, looking back, I'm not sure whether or not I would have participated in, but actually I think I would. I really actually like the way that it's turning out. It's just the theme that I'm kind of about. This is called Beautiful Sea SAL by Ship's Manor. The reason I'm kind of about the theme is that sea themes, nautical themes are not really my thing. We do sort of live closer to a large body of water, but I'm not out shipping or sailing or fishing or anything like that. The sea's never really been my thing. I'm kind of the person that I actually get scared if I can't see what's underneath me when I'm swimming. I don't like, you know, the feeling of fish and eels and, you know, I don't know. So I love eating seafood though. Seafood's great. But I do like the way that this is turning out. This is the Beautiful Sea SAL. This is by Ship's Manor Designs. And this is really beautiful. It is, I am stitching this on a 28 count black Jobelin. And I love how it looks on the back. And this is using threads from Ship's Manor. I apologize, there are some hanging threads. Oh, some big hanging threads on this one. But this is how this has turned out. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen these both of these SALs before, but it's really beautiful. The colors are really, really gorgeous. So I'm really loving that. I basically finished, I think I pretty much finished this entire row, which I think was actually 4 parts. Oh, that's right. It was 4 parts because I was behind 3 and then a 4th was released. So on both of those, I have done 4 parts. So I basically did this entire row. So, but it looks really good. Both of these will be done in April, which seems like it's coming out pretty soon. So I'll be happy to have these done. And I plan on hanging both of these. My husband kind of had the idea to hang this one in the bathroom. So I know it's kind of a neat idea, considering it's kind of a sea water theme, to kind of put it in one of our bathrooms. So I'm down with that. So the last thing that I have for you in regards to things that I have worked on is I have a new start. Yay! I am so excited about this. A very good friend of mine, really one of my best friends, his name is Jason. He's been extraordinarily supportive of me over this past year. He's just one of those friends that just makes you laugh. He makes you cry. He hangs out with us, with myself and my husband all the time. He comes over for game nights. He's someone I've known since I was a kid, and I just thought I really wanted to stitch something for him. His birthday is in June, so I'm thinking my goal is to try to get this done by June, and I think it will be very reasonable. And so I had posted on Stitch Mania a while back trying to kind of figure out what would be a great pattern for him. Now, Jason really loves to read, and somebody had posted something about, why don't you stitch like a quote from one of his favorite books. I thought that was an excellent idea. So He loves Harry Potter. I do know that, and I was kind of looking around on Etsy. So one of the patterns that I found, and I can't remember if I showed this to you guys or not, is a pattern by Fiddlesticks. The Etsy shop is Fiddlesticks AU, which I think is for Australia. And she does a this quote from Harry Potter that says, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good," which perfectly describes Jason. He's never up to any good. And this is in the Ravenclaw colors because he is a Ravenclaw. I was able to kind of find that. Oops. I was able to find that out. So that's what that pattern actually will look like in the end. It's really nice colors. I think I did show this to you guys last time. But I want to show you. I did just start on this last night. So this is just as far as I have gotten. So this part here is actually the bottom of the Y for solemnly. So solemnly kind of goes down this way. So it looks really good. I like it. I'm enjoying it thus far. The pattern is really easy to follow. You can see there's not very many colors that are down here at the bottom. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different colors that are in this design. Oh, and by the way, my cute owl needle minder is from Delicious Threads. This little video game, kind of Nintendo 64 controller, is also from Delicious Threads. But I think it looks really good. So I'm going to be spending a lot of my time and energy on doing this pattern so that I can get this done by June. So I will be doing this kind of in between the time that I am doing my SALs. The other thing that I may consider is if I get tired of doing this is that one of my goals of the pieces that I wanted to stitch was my winter band sampler by the Dinky Dyes winter band sampler. So I may gain the courage to get that. So to get that started. So we'll see. I'll either be starting that in either January or February. I think winter actually ends up going into the first part of March. It's hard to feel like it's winter because it's really in the 70s here in Texas. It's kind of hot and gross. It's been raining a lot. It's just really, really nasty weather. So it's kind of hard to even feel like it's winter right now. But I do definitely want to start that that band sampler. That's all I have in regards to WIPs. It doesn't seem like much, but gosh, that was a lot of stitching. Doing both of those, catching up on both of those SALs on so many pieces, and doing the and doing this new start was a lot. So, because I think the last time I saw you was maybe 3 weeks ago. So I feel like I've gotten a lot of stitching done. My husband is out running right now, and then we're going to catch up. We're going to finish watching the end of season 2 of Daredevil on Netflix. We've been watching kind of all of the different superhero series. We watched Luke Cage. We watched Jessica Jones. We kind of watched it backwards. We watched Jessica Jones, then we watched Luke Cage, then we watched, now we're watching Daredevil. And my husband and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but we kind of feel like Daredevil is probably our least favorite. It's kind of reaching a little bit. There's like zombie ninjas in the series now, which is kind of odd. You know, it's like everything was kind of, you know, semi-believable and stuff until you kind of got to the zombie ninja phase. And now we're both kind of like, this is interesting. But we're only 2 episodes out from the season finale of that. I've also watched, I finished watching Orange is the New Black on Netflix, which was really great. I was really sad about the ending, but that was really good. I also binge watched pretty much the entire 2nd season of Fuller House. I am a 90s kid. Well, I wasn't born in the 90s. I was born in 87, but loved Full House growing up, and I just love the sentiment and everything behind it. Love that it's like good, clean, family fun. So I have been watching that as well. I also binge watched the, gosh, I've been doing a lot of stitching. This is how you know that I'm caught up on all my TV shows. Is I watched the latest season of WIP, which was season 5. So I'm now caught up on WIP, and I love that show too, with Julia Louis-Dreyfus and stuff. It's hysterically hilarious. So, enjoy catching up on that. Now, let's go into some of my haul. I I can't stop doing gifts. I told myself that 2017 was going to be the year of me. It was going to be the year of just doing stuff for myself, but I just can't. I can't. I am so much of like a giver. I want to constantly do gifts for myself. Not gifts for myself. What am I saying? Gifts for other people. That is really, really hard for me to focus on myself. So, you know, I am doing the Harry Potter for my friend Jason. I plan on stitching one of the little ballerina. I think it's called Little Ballerinas by Little. I think it's by Little House Needleworks, or it's Country Cottage Needleworks for my niece this year. I have that kitted up and ready to go. I will be starting that soon. And then one of my other really fairly new friends, but has become a good friend really quickly, is a friend of mine named Z. And I was looking like online through Amazon and stuff at cross stitch books and everything, and I came across this book, Stitch Alphabets and Numbers. And this book is by Felicity Hall. And her patterns are really, really cute. She has a lot of really great patterns and stuff online. But I came across this book in general, and it's a whole bunch of different alphabets. I'm going to show you guys just a couple of the designs in here. It's alphabets and numbers, but the reason that I actually got the book was because I thought I need to stitch Z something. If I'm stitching Jason something, because Jason and Z are really good friends, and then me and Jason and Z and my husband are really good friends, so kind of just a circle of love there. But I saw this pattern, and Z has a tattoo on his forearm that actually looks, kind of reminds me of this, and so I thought I had to stitch that for him. Like, I thought it was, I don't know, just for him and his personality, it was perfect. I don't think it'll take very long, so this is probably the next thing that I'm going to stitch. Oh, and if I didn't mention before, the I solemnly swear it is on 28 count Jaslyn, which is an interesting fabric. I actually kind of like it. 28 count Jaslyn and Cameo is what I'm doing for that. But you can kind of see that's the front cover. But they have like these circus letter alphabets, which are really cool. They also have some different numbers in the book. And then here's some other different kinds of letters, these screen print letters and block letters. And then she kind of has some ideas for different patterns. This is the other letters that she has in the book, and some of these numbers, which I thought that's a really cute idea for like a wedding or anniversary or birthday or things like that. So I don't know, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I picked that up. I actually got it for $5 on Amazon and got it shipped, which is really cool. And then some of you guys may have seen this on Stitch Mania. I got a 1, 2, 3 order sent to me with some patterns that I had been eyeing. And the first one is, this is from Bent Creek. This is the Thankful Owls. And it comes, there's a little star button there. I don't want to turn around because you're going to see the chart. Star button there. So I thought this was really cute. I want to do that for Thanksgiving sometime whenever I decide that I can. I feel like there was something else that I got. Maybe not. I ordered some fabric. Is that what this is? Yeah, I got a 9x13 32 count vintage Sahara. You can't see, that is not how the color shows up. It's kind of like that, I guess. It's kind of this vintagey yellow. It's a printed fabric, so they're the kind of mottled looking is on one side, and then it's just plain on the other side. This is linen. I got a 9x13 piece of that. I ordered the Lizzie Kate Inspiration Boxer, and it comes in like a CD case, and this is kind of broken, which I was disappointed of when I got it, but I thought the design was really cute. It comes with this chart, and then it also comes with this bonus chart, and everything's actually, well, I say everything, but everything's practically in here. So the fabric and the 2 charts and the buttons are also come in this little package, but I'm actually going to swap out the fabric for this vintage Sahara fabric that I got. And you can see I've already kind of started looking at flosses. I am looking at, I kind of pulled the DMC for it, and then I have some Sea SAL silks that I'm looking at potentially using. I am struggling, guys, with substituting threads. It's like, I want to try to get as close to the DMC as possible, but like especially when it comes to some of like these colors here, so like they're variegated and they go from like this light to this super dark. It's like, how do I know that all of these colors are going to look good together? So like these are some of the different threads that I have, and they're very similar to what the actual DMC is. But it's trying to determine like how I know whether or not this will look good, and it might be something that I just kind of have to stitch, and then if I hate it, just pull it out. It's not a big pattern, so it could be an opportunity for me to kind of play around a little bit. And then the last thing that I have is Little House Needleworks. This is one more stitch. I saw Abby Bella stitch this, and I thought this was really cute. I'm probably going to change this girl's hair to be blonde because this is definitely me when it's crazy late at night and still stitching. This happened to come with all of the threads together, so these are all Classic Colorworks. And then this fabric, it actually came from the Lizzie Kate boxer, and it's kind of like a raw linen. And I had originally bought the vintage Sahara fabric for this piece. It's just too light though. Like the moon and stuff up here and stars, they wouldn't show up. I pulled kind of the threads out of the package and looked at them, and they just won't show up very well. So I just kind of swapped out some fabric, and it was the right size. So I have that in my collection now. The only other thing that I got is I do subscribe to get the series from Brooke, the Dress Up Princess collection, and I got Snow White, which is, oh my gosh, guys, beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. And there's been a lot of fuss because Brooke has been very, very late in releasing everything for the Dress Up collection. And I do find myself getting frustrated with that because you feel like they're supposed to be released once a month. They're supposed to be released at a very specific time. She comes on and she'll tell us it's going to be released, it's going to be released, it's going to be released, and then it's not, and we don't hear anything. Brooke has had a lot of things go on in her personal life. I think she's had a son that's been very sick. I know there was a tornado that ripped through her community. So her reliability has been kind of shaky. The one thing that I do wish though is I just wish Brooke wouldn't set like that standard until she really knows she's actually going to release something. Then that way she might not get so much backlash. I'm pretty patient with it because I'm not actively stitching those designs right now. So it's like if it comes out now or it comes out, 2 or 3 weeks late, it doesn't really matter to me. But I do feel bad because a lot of customers and people have been getting really upset, and I really hope it doesn't affect her business. She's a fantastic designer, and her pieces are just absolutely stunning. So I hope she's doing well. I hope things are getting better, and I don't know. I guess I just hope that things get sorted out. So, last but not least, kind of for the end of the video, is yesterday, January 20th, was Penguin Awareness Day. My favorite animal in the world is penguins. And you got to see my little pillow buddy last time. And so from myself and from my little penguin buddy, I just want to wish you guys a happy Penguin Awareness Day. Happy belated. And for those of you who are fans of squirrels, today is actually National Squirrel Day. So I just want to say hello to all of my little squirrely friends and people who love squirrels. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of January, a great rest of the week. And I wish you well. I'll see you next month. Bye, guys.